What's up, you guys? I'm back with another Top 10 Tuesday, and on this week's episode, we're gonna count down the top 10 most haunted places on Earth. Talking about real scary, messed up-ish. So stay tuned, because it's about to get scary weird. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll wait for a sec. Maybe two. There you go. There have been reports of paranormal activity at the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania since the 1940s, but ever since it was abandoned in 1971, the activities just got more crazy and more frequent. People have been seeing shadowy figures disappearing when they approach it, dark figures in the guard tower, evil crackling in cell block 12. Evil crackling. If I were in that prison and I heard evil crackling, I would most likely scream like a little schoolgirl and run out. But that wouldn't happen, you know why? Because I wouldn't be there in the first place. More paranormal activities such as shadowy figures sliding down the wall in cell block 6. Cell block 6, shadowy figures. Why would you even want to go there? And lastly, strange shadows, footsteps, and more crazy-ish like laughing and chatting and all that have been heard. Needless to say, just don't go there. Just don't. Just stay away from there. The Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta, Canada. This place is probably Canada's most haunted places. One of Canada's most haunted places. It was built over 125 years ago by the Canadian Pacific Railway as a luxury stop for travelers. Now, story goes that people have seen apparitions near the ballroom where this bride fell down the stairs because she panicked that she caught on fire and broke her neck. Crap, kind of snapped my neck there. But yeah, people have seen apparitions of this bride. Now, apart from this hotel looking like it was from The Shining, knowing it's haunted, why would you want to stay there? Just why? But that's not even it. The main story is that this family, the whole family, got murdered in room 873, and people still see the apparitions of the family in the hallway. Just why even go to this hotel? I don't get it. Next up, we got the Queen Mary Hotel in California. Now, this ship was an ocean liner between 1930s, well, in the 1930s to the 1960s, where it sailed the North Atlantic. But ever since the 1970s, it's become a hotel named the Queen Mary Hotel. Now, story goes between the 1930s and the 1960s, two women drowned in the swimming pool in the first class area. And now people say that they've seen their ghosts around. Mary King's Close in Edinburgh, Scotland was a warren of underground streets and dwellings. Now, this place was a thriving place. In 1645, there was a plague. It got all Resident Evil up in there and people got left behind. Now, you can guess why it's haunted. Now, people have seen apparitions of a worried woman, a woman in black, and a little girl named Annie. I wonder if she's an orphan. The White House. With all the presidents that have run up in that joint, you know that place is haunted. Most notably when the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Winston Churchill, not the cigar, was staying in Lincoln's bedroom. He finished taking a shower, he went back into the bedroom and saw Lincoln standing by the fireplace. That's some scary-ish, man. That's some scary-ish. Just the way Lincoln looks. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He looks pretty scary. In ghost form, Lincoln would look scary as. And needless to say, after that night, Churchill refused to stay in the room. Another story was Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands was staying in the Rose Room when she heard a knock at the door. And when she opened the door, she was confronted by an apparition of Lincoln's ghost. Lincoln really got attached to this place. Next up, we got the old Changi Hospital from Changi, Singapore. It could be Changi, it could be Changi, like the rapper, but I'm going with Changi. Now, this place was built in 1935 as part of the old Changi military base, when it was under occupation by the Japanese, and it was used by the notorious Japanese secret police as a prison and a torture chamber. Now, with all the patients dying, people getting tortured and killed, Ish was just going crazy up in there, and the place is haunted now. Now, people have seen ghosts of bloody soldiers, children running around, ghosts of children running around, ghosts of women and other patients, and people have heard loud bangings. The only thing that boggles my mind is who in their right mind would step foot into this place to find out. The Edinburgh Castle in Edinburgh, Scotland. Now this is believed to be one of the most haunted cities on Earth. Why? This castle's history goes back to the Iron Ages. The Iron Ages, that's pretty old. And it's seen its share of torture and bloody battle. Bloody battle. Bet you can't say that 10 times real fast. Bloody battle, like the ones you've seen in the Game of Thrones. This is Game of Thrones straight up. Now that makes a great recipe for one haunted place. Until this day, people have seen apparitions of an old man wearing an apron, probably trying to cook something. And people have seen a headless drummer boy and a piper who lost his wife when he was traveling through the tunnels underground. Next up, we got POVEGLIA Island of Italy, which is in the Venice Lagoon. It sits between Venice and Lido. This island has been inhabited since 421. Apparently, this island was used as a mental asylum where doctors did experiments and crazy-ish on patients. Just things you shouldn't do. Things that in the future would make this place haunted. And apparently in the 1930s, a doctor committed suicide by jumping from the bell tower. Next up, we got the Island of the Dolls in Julio, Mexico. And a man named Julian Santin Barrera, that dude's name is one letter more of, so this story is gonna be messed up. Anywho, the story goes in the 1920s, two girls drowned in the water there and their ghosts just haunt the island. So when Julian moved out there, he says as soon as he moved out there, the three girls appeared to him and started talking to him. That's a messed up ish. And they said that how they couldn't leave the island. So he started collecting dolls and hanging them up everywhere. And now the island just looks creepy as. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend vacationing in that island. Lastly, we got the Ancient Rom Inn, which is probably the most haunted places in the British Isle. Yeah, I know it's Isle, but I pronounce it Isle. There's an S in it. First grade teacher told me to pronounce every single letter in a word. This place was built in 1145, but before that, before all, the building was there, 5,000 years ago, this place was a pagan burial ground. Now, crazy messed up ish have gone on in this place, such as devil worship, sacrifices, just crazy bad ish. You do not want to go to this place. Now it's a bed and breakfast, and people have known to flee in the middle of the night, saying that they've seen apparitions. People have been thrown around the rooms, pushed around. Knowing this, why would you want to go stay in a place like that? And look at the place. Would you want to stay at an inn like this? I'll stay the night in the car. Get some McDonald's breakfast in the morning. So that's it for this week's episode of Top 10 Tuesday. I'll see you guys next week with another Top 10. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, keep it weird.